welcome to Makeup Monday. Today, this video might be up a little bit later than it usually is because I have to film this part and edit it all on Monday. Normally I have it done Sunday night, but I was just unable to do that. It's really warm under these lights. And today's Makeup Monday is going to be, instead of just doing one mask review that's really long, I'm going to be reviewing my new masks that I got, the Alba Botanica Hawaiian Detox Volcanic Clay Anti-Pollution Sheet Mask, the Yesta Grapefruit Brightening and Vitamin C Glow Boosting Paper Mask, the Dead Sea Minerals Anti-Stress Freeman Feeling Beautiful 10-Minute Clay Mask, the Multi-Use Clay Mask plus Scrub Apple Cider Vinegar, plus Scrub from Freeman Feeling Beautiful, and then the Ackee Berry from Soo-Ae Sleeping Mask, and it's a brightening and renewing overnight mask. And so I'm going to just kind of be describing the masks as I go through them. So the first one I'm going to go through and discuss is the one that I don't have a video of, but this is the Hawaiian Detox Sheet Mask. It's a black face mask, so it's just one of those ones that you don't want to water your garden while you do it because it does look like you're wearing blackface, and everyone's overly sensitive in this world, so you might start some neighbor drama that you didn't want just because you were trying to wear a mask. I really like this one. It had a weird smell to it. It kind of smelled like fake plastic flowers, that kind of a smell, but I got over it pretty quickly. This was one of my favorite masks of all of them, and I'll explain why later. But this one has, it actually felt like a cloth mask while I was wearing it, and it really did feel super nice. It gave me an instant glow to my face. I work in an environment where there's a smoking area because we're a private club, so there's like a smoking area that's outside on an indoor porch, but it's really close to the main area, so there's always smoke coming in and out, so my hair and my face are constantly just around it. Plus it's in an enclosed environment because it's a private club, so there's no windows and it's just not good for my face. But this absorbed very nicely. It didn't absorb immediately, but it took a few minutes, but then it did absorb very, very nicely. I suggest that it takes a little bit of time, so you might want to make yourself some tea while you wait for it to soak in before you apply your makeup or your nighttime moisturizer, whatever it is that you're doing there. This is definitely on my repurchase list because this felt like it did what it needed to do without being super intense. My face wasn't left red. I do have a lot of active acne spots, which hopefully you cannot see with the amount of makeup that I'm wearing, but when you see me in the videos you'll see a lot of active acne, and that played a big part in how I felt about these masks. So this didn't affect those that much, but it did leave my general skin feeling very nice, which I very much approve of. The next masks I will be doing slight voiceovers of, so there is that, and that's what you are going to get introduced to now. As you can see from the description I just gave, the clay mask, I did have to rip it open barbarically in order to get to use it, but this one was very nice. It's not one that I would repurchase all the time. It's an occasional repurchase because it felt nice. It had one of my favorite smells. It was my favorite smelling one because it had this nice, sweet, relaxing scent. And it was just a good de-stressing mask. It says that it's for instantly clears pores and balances for renewed skin, but it didn't give you an intense, like, ripped the stuff out of your face like, say, the avocado and oatmeal and cucumber clay masks kind of do. But it did feel nice. It was gentle to remove. It was a little bit more liquidy than most of the other ones, and it didn't spread as well as other clay masks that I used. So I did only get 2, and when normally I get about 3 uses out of a satchel, this one I only got 2 out of. But like I said, it wasn't the best thing ever, but it wasn't the worst one. It's just not an immediate repurchase for me. This one, the Berry one, it has a gel-like texture, as I explained. And this one has the nicest smell of all of them. And this one was a sweeter smell, but this one was a nice berry smell. It smelled like, you know, acacia berry or acai berry. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this did leave my skin, when you put it on, it feels very, very silky and nice and serumy. But after about 10 minutes, I wrote notes as I used them. And this one just, where is it? There it is. It's supposed to stay on all night, but it did feel tacky and sticky after about 10 minutes. This one, it is a little, my hair got stuck to it. Like I said, it is sticky to the touch for a while, so you don't want to I wouldn't immediately go to sleep with this. I would give it about a half an hour before you go to sleep with it, just because of that reason. It did make your skin feel very nice in the morning, but I feel like this is one of those things that you would have to use long term. It was nice, but this one's not a repurchase for me. And my acne did get the active ones did get a little bit crusty feeling when I tried, you know, when I woke up in the morning, but that just went away when you wiped it off in the morning, and it came off very, very easily. All right, the apple cider vinegar. As you can see, this kind of has this pink calamine lotion kind of thing to it, which help reduce redness, because this says that if you experience long-term redness, you know, more than just after the immediate use of a scrub, which this is a scrub, it really does have those very, very big scrubby bits in it. It has bentonite clay and kaolin clay, and it has actual pumice in it. And so that's what the gritty, scrubby bits are, is pumice. And you can feel it. This is a very intense mask. If you have very sensitive skin, you would want to avoid the apple cider vinegar clay mask and scrub. If you have dry skin, avoid this, because this is, and by the way, I don't think I mentioned it, if you have oily skin, you're not gonna like this one. I have normal combination skin. This made my face feel immediately tight. This gives you immediate results. If you're an impatient person, this is going to be right up your alley, because it feels like it sucks every bit of moisture from your skin. It does say that it instantly tones, purifies, and mattifies for a flawless complexion. There's not going to be any oil or moisture on your skin after you use this. And I had to spread out when I used this, and I got the most uses out of this one, because you just need a little bit, especially if you're using it as a cleanser. You could probably get 5 or 6 uses out of this. I got 4, using it twice as a cleanser and twice as a mask. And so the normal about 3 uses if you were using it all as a mask would be for me. And you get your, it's just instant, but it's very intense. It did open some of my active acne afterwards, but because the clays sucked out all of the moisture, there wasn't bleeding or oozing. It was just, I did notice that they were open and there was stinging when I went to apply my moisturizer. So keep that in mind. This is a once in a while repurchase. I would definitely consider repurchasing it, but I would not use this constantly just because it is so intense. But for the summertime, this will be nice when you have those nights where it's really hot and humid, and the next day you want to just get stuff off of your face. Absolutely perfect. This one, after I used it, it became very sticky. It was so sticky on my hands that I had to rinse it off, and that normally doesn't happen. Normally you just rub in the serum stuff, and I understand that the skin on your face and the skin on your hands is a little different, but I never had that sensation where it was so sticky that doing this was difficult. So I had to wash it off, and actually it was so sticky and tacky, and I know you're not supposed to wipe this stuff off when there's leftover. It does give this warning because there was a lot of tingling. As I showed you in the thing, it does say that there's a tingling sensation. There was, but it also, so that I don't get any backlash, it does say that if there's too much tingling, just to take it off, obviously. It made me it was the most tingling and the most uncomfortable around my active acne. So if you have a lot of active acne, you would want to avoid this one, because it wasn't intense. It wasn't nearly as intense as the other mask, but this one did feel like I needed this to come off of my face. I hope you cannot hear my very loud TV downstairs that just got turned on. This had my least favorite smell, as you could see in the video. I really didn't like wearing this. I couldn't wait to get it off. And I had to immediately, and I waited a few minutes. It didn't absorb into my skin. And so I just, instead of wiping it off like I kind of wanted to, I put my moisturizer on to help it absorb. And that seemed to do the trick. And I use the L'Oreal SPF 18 sunscreen Revitalift, the daytime one. And so that helped it absorb a little better, and it took the stickiness away. but you don't want to wait too long. I would do that immediately after. I thought if I waited, it would do it on its own, and that's not what happened. This was my least favorite of all of them. To conclude, the masks, these two, the Acacia Berry and the Say Yes to Grapefruit, were my two least favorite and definitely not going to repurchase. This seems like one of those things that you just need to use for a long term before you get results from it, and it just doesn't seem to be worth the extra step at night. I would much rather just put on my moisturizer and, you know, any spot treatment. And again, I didn't see any glowing results from this, and even though it did smell nice, it didn't make up for it with use. This one was my absolute least favorite, the Say Yes to Grapefruit. Not a repurchase for me, just because not only did it not seem to brighten or do anything to my skin, like sheet masks, you know, they have somewhat of an instant use for them. And I just didn't enjoy it, didn't enjoy the smell, didn't enjoy the feel, didn't enjoy the serum. Just overall not a mask for me. These two, the two Freeman Feeling Beautiful ones, the apple cider vinegar scrub plus mask, and then the anti-stress Dead Sea mineral mask, these are both considerable repurchases. These aren't ones that I'm going to constantly need in my drawer, but they are occasionally, once in a while. They feel really great. This one is really great for when you're having relaxing spa days, or if you're going out to the beach and you want to take a mask sampler with you. This one is great for oily skin. Avoid if you have dry skin, but it does give instant, matte, instantaneous, intense results, but it is intense. Use with caution. Do not exceed the 5-minute mark. It makes that repetitively clear because of how intense it is. And a definite repurchase the next time I go to the store for masks. I'm going to grab another Alba Botanica Hawaiian Detox mask because this had immediate results. It felt nice. It had an actual cloth, which I very much prefer. Whereas if I didn't mention that, this one really felt more papery as far as sheet masks go. And this one had the best results. So that one is my favorite and the one that I'm going to have a repurchase of and maybe have 2 of them in my drawer. That's really nice. I hope that you enjoyed the review, and I will talk to you later.